how would we integrate this at a medical conference where we have a main room, exhibit room, and then break off sessions? So what I'll say about this is that one of the things you want to consider is you talk about the break-off sessions and that kind of thing. So if you want to live stream, you really, if you have 4 or 5 sessions going on at the same time, you really need that many crews. Each one of them can be in, going live at the same time, different links, of course, and you can put them all those onto, like, say, a web page so it's not confusing. But say if you wanted to watch what's in breakout room 1, you have a video crew in there. They could all day long put those links out for people to be able to watch who are online. Also, if you have a main feed, and Thomas needs your help on this a little bit, I would think as long as you have a long enough cable that you can broadcast that, or you could even take that out to YouTube if you wanted people in different rooms to be able to watch what's going on in that main conference room, that there's a lot of different ways that, they could do that. Like all they have to do is pull up the YouTube link onto a large monitor. And so if they're in different rooms, but they want to see what's going on in the main room, you can certainly do that. So I don't know if I answered your question. And Thomas, I'll let you speak to this too. Did you get the question?
Yeah, I think that's great. I mean, you're right, Donna. You definitely need, obviously, people covering different things. If you're trying to keep costs down within that, you can think about things like, what are the most important sessions to actually be live? So obviously, as Donna mentioned, you can have a different player for each location at your conference, and you can have a team streaming from each room. And I've done setups like that. But I've also done setups where we'll kind of build a master control, what we would call a master control. And then, as long as things are not happening simultaneously, you can have the master control do everything, all the switching and all of that. But you obviously still need to have camera guys manning the cameras in each room. So there are ways to, make it more cost effective. And the other thing to think about is, how important are those breakout sessions? If you have the keynote stage and that's a huge priority and you want to make sure people can see the keynote and that stage is live all the time, then, you can just make that live all the time. And then you can have crews just filming in the other rooms. And then you can even, if you have the infrastructure for it, you can do a quick edit and you can bring those other presentations into your stream as video playback. So they're not necessarily live, but, maybe you have breaks in the keynote presentation. So the keynote, has a break from noon to 1 p.m. And then you're able to ingest one of those previous sessions from another room and play that out on the main feed. So that's a way to make it more cost effective where you can, just have that one main crew, because it does obviously get more expensive when you start adding more video switchers and more technical directors and all that kind of stuff.
And that's such a good point, because some people who don't want to take the leap, I guess, of going live, what they'll do is just to have like a video crew and a live streaming crew, and just one of the video crew will go out to each one of these things so that at least you're creating that sense of excitement. So say you had a keynote speaker and then you had that video crew shoot that, and then you just take it to the person who's there at the live streaming computer and they just put it out live on, say, Facebook. So, and maybe they edit together little things from your conference, and you're not actually having to, you have each one of these pre-taped pieces go out live. And so that is one way to kind of create excitement. And you're right, that there's so many different ways to look at this, and depending on exactly what your needs are. Obviously, if you wanted these for CEUs or that sort of thing, you wanted to be able to take the whole presentation, that's how you do it. But there's so many different ways. Great point, Thomas, that these video crews, that's another thing. The wedding that we had scheduled to shoot this Sunday, we were going to have a video crew there because she asked, the bride asked, well, can we, walk around with these cameras? I like to use cables. The cameras are, set with the cable. And so I don't want my cameras running around. But the predator, like they call it, the producer editor, We had a crew who was just dedicated to, they would go around and show people, and they could be loose and not wired, and then they edit right there and then hand it to the director, and we put that out to make the wedding more exciting and bring a little more action to it. So I think those are great points, and a good live streaming company will always consult with you on what are your goals. And sometimes I'll work backwards with people. Tell me what your budget is, and I'll tell you what we can do for that.